So Cliffhanger is a pretty famous movie about rock climbing. It's like one of the only movies about rock climbing that's like a real movie. Also, if you're wondering why I'm wearing jeans and like a ball cap during like movie night, you know, it's not real movie night, obviously. Like you can see it's the middle of the day. I tried to go for like the late night cozy movie vibe, and you know, I'm doing my best here. You know, what can I say? The movie starts off with Sylvester Stallone's character campusing this rock like hundreds of feet up in the air, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, clearly it's like a real climber doing the moves because it's just a silhouette. The weird thing is he's not roped in at all. Like he's just free soloing, which, you know, I get they're trying to make it like, look how good he is at climbing. He's free soloing, overhang, and campusing, which seems like a lot. Like you're really putting a lot on your plate doing all that at the same time. But to really cap things off, to show us just how talented he is, he has all his gear too. So he's got like all the carabiners and clips, and just like, why does he have any of that if he's free soloing?
I'm just hanging out, Jess.
Oh God.
And you know, we find out he's a rescue climber, so he's actually going to rescue them. And you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about rescue climbing. Maybe they free solo with all the gear and do like campus. I would think there was an easier way up the rock that he would have taken if he was a rescue climber, you know, because like his priority is saving the people who are trapped, not like campusing. And then they pull out this awesome shot where he's free soloing up around this prow, and there's a chopper flying below him watching him. Like, first of all, why are they flying below him at all, like in next to the cliff? Like they should be above where they can see. And also, I know he's already free soloing, so if he falls, he's fucked. But like, if he falls into the chopper blades, it's gonna be a lot more traumatizing for everybody to watch him die. It's also kind of dangerous for the people in the chopper. Like that can fuck up the chopper pretty bad. So Sylvester Stallone ends up getting to the stranded climbers, and I figured this is a good time to bring up Sylvester Stallone is an interesting choice as a lead for a movie about rock climbing. He's obviously in very good shape, but he does not look like a rock climber at all. Sylvester Stallone is a pretty big guy. I mean, you look at him, he's beefy. I mean, he played Rambo. Like, look at this shot.
And they didn't give a damn.
Like, does that look like a rock climber to you? You know, you can't really lift weights enough to get that big and also climb enough to be good enough to do the shit he was just doing at the same time. So this movie opens up with a pretty horrific death sequence. I mean, like, it's pretty bad. I went into this thinking it was like a family-friendly, like maybe kind of cheesy, fun, romp in the hay climbing movie. It is not. Like, this movie thinks it's Die Hard.
Hold on, I got you. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You're not gonna die.
Please, I don't want to die.
You're not gonna die.
Slipping.
Sarah, I got you. Just reach up.
I'm slipping.
Sir, please.
No, I'm slipping. Gabe, don't let me fall. No, I'm falling. Gabe.
Holy shit. I did not expect the movie to start off with a woman screaming desperately for her life. Like, it's kind of traumatizing to start the movie this way. I feel like the writer really wanted it to be like a realistic death sequence. Like, we got to make sure the audience knows, like, she doesn't want to die. And, you know, you do get that impression, but they really hone in. Like, he's like, we should have her, like, screaming for her life. Like, imagine, like, she's really about to die, and she's young. She has her whole life ahead of her, and, like, she's not ready to die yet. And she's looking into his eyes and telling him that. I'm like, holy shit, dude, we get it. Like, it's real, okay? They do a good job. It's very real. It's very traumatic to watch. And I get the premise is that he gets pretty scarred from this mentally, and you know what, I was too, so you know, I get it. So basically she dies, some stuff happens, we meet Stallone's buddies, who are the most like cliche like climbers ever. They're really more like snowboarder or like skateboarder vibe, but they're pretty cool.
Work?
Yeah.
Don't say that word, man.
Man, I hate work, even when somebody else is doing it.
So to summarize the setup for the movie, bad guys hijack a plane that has a bunch of money on it that's getting transferred to like the Federal Reserve. They accidentally drop all the money because they're idiots, and it spills all over the mountains. So then they're like, why don't we get a climber to guide us through the mountains so we can find the 3 briefcases full of money, and then we'll kill him, and then we can dip. So they call Sylvester Stallone and his buddy Yondu, who is the boyfriend of the chick who died, and basically at gunpoint make them find the missing money. That's the plot of the whole movie, which for a rock climbing movie, you know, I'll say it's pretty original. It's not what I expected at all, but very 80s. So they reach the first briefcase, and it's like up over this like huge cliff, and they're like, hey, climber, go get it.
Fudge! Do it.
So Sylvester Stallone's like, yeah, I'll go up there and get it. And they're like, no, we're gonna tie you down to a rope so that you can't run away when you get up there. And they make Yondu tie him up. This, I kind of had some issues with this because like Sylvester Stallone's wearing a harness and his buddy, who's another like pretty like regular climber, ties the rope around his ankle. Like, I get either way, he's gonna fall to his death. Like, there's no clipping or anything. The rope is just there so he can't get away. But like, it's gonna inhibit his climbing a lot more to have a rope tied to his ankle, especially that the higher you get, the heavier the rope gets. So this rope's just gonna be pulling on his ankle the whole time. Anyway, he gets to the top. They think he's trying to escape, or they're planning on killing him or something. I don't really remember. But they start yanking on the rope and they're like, pull him down and kill him, even though he hasn't given them the case yet. So he ends up at the last second, he like cuts the line and they're like, shit, he got away, kill him. So they start like just whipping out grenade launchers and shooting at him. So now's a good time to acknowledge the fact that yes, they brought grenade launchers. I don't know why they thought it was necessary to bring grenade launchers on a plane hijacking. It's probably the most inappropriate place to bring grenade launchers I can imagine. But anyway, they start hauling grenades up there at him, and lo and behold, an avalanche happens. All right, pause it right there. Why is this guy shooting at an avalanche? What? This is probably the coolest scene I've ever seen. I don't know what this guy was trying to accomplish, but shooting at an avalanche while it's coming down at you has got to be the most Chad thing I've ever seen in my life. So basically, Sylvester Stallone gets away. Some more stuff happens. They're looking for more briefcases. And then they meet the other two climbers, the cool, young, hip ones. And, you know, I already knew the movie was kind of gruesome because there's already been some gruesome deaths. And, you know, they really set your expectations out the gate with that extremely violent death at the beginning. But I did not expect them to just shoot and kill one of the two climbers right off the bat. This movie's pretty dark. Like, they built these characters up and like they're really likable and like innocent, and they have this like slow motion death sequence. By the way, during the intermission, I got this Mountain Dew, the Voodoo. It's the mystery flavor for this season. They do it every year. This flavor's spoiler alert, blue raspberry. I know a lot of you might be pretty pissed off about that. I just spoiled it for you. Probably like, I didn't get it yet, but you know, sucks to suck. I already got it. It's kind of giving me a stomach ache though. It's like my third one today. Now, I said I would come back to it later. I brought up, you know, Sylvester Stallone, not the best casting choice for a rock climber. And you might be like, why? And I already said, he's pretty big. He's too big to be a climber. Climbers don't look like that. And you'd be like, well, there's some climbers out there that are pretty big, muscular guys. First of all, I'd say, no, there's not. But second of all, I'd say, look at this death scene and see if you can tell me what's wrong about it. Yeah, how many climbers do you know who can power clean a grown man and then overhead press them into a stalactite? Now, I know it's an action movie, but it's at least believable. You know, you see Sylvester Stallone, he's a believable character to be able to lift this guy up and press him over his head. That's a lot of weight, first of all. The guy's got gear on too, like combat gear, so he's probably over 200 pounds. And also, rock climbers just can't do that. I don't know a single climber who can power clean 200 pounds or overhead press 200 pounds. It's just not gonna happen. That being said, pretty cool death scene, right? I mean, this movie's not bad. So really the end of the movie is just a bunch of bad guys killing each other. They kill more innocent good guys gruesomely. No one is safe. This is like the Game of Thrones of climbing movies. There's like a soccer player bad guy. He's like kicking this dude and making all the soccer references while he does it. It's really weird. He's like, field goal kick, good, and then kicks him in the ribs. Now that I'm saying it, it's kind of cool, but when I was watching it, I didn't like it.
I love you, no chip shot. Injured was past 1 defender. 2 defenders. 3 defenders.
What else happened? Sylvester Stallone gets a harpoon gun like pistol out of nowhere. Like I mean, I wasn't paying super close attention to the movie, to be honest, but I never saw him grab this, and he's just trapped under the ice and just whips it out, and he's like, "Dah, dah," and just fucking kills this dude. But it is a cool scene in a way. It looks like the harpoons are like coming out sideways and shit. I don't really know what's going on there. And then the end's okay. They just get in like a helicopter fight, which you probably like, what is a helicopter fight? And it's pretty much exactly what you're expecting. Well, no, I guess what you'd be expecting is like 2 helicopters fighting. But this is like, he is fighting the helicopter. Only Sylvester Stallone can fight a helicopter, but he basically like, he has to like bat a little bit, and then he has to tie it down to this thing, and then once he ties it down, it like messes it up, so it like starts crashing, and then it swings down and crashes, but like the guy is still alive somehow. So Sylvester Stallone's on this chopper with this dude while it's hanging off the edge of a cliff, and they're beating the crap out of each other. And then at the end, the chopper ends up like detaching, and they're like, oh no, they're gonna fall to their death. But Sylvester Stallone's a rock climber, so he could just grabs the rock and starts hanging. And the bad guy, not a rock climber. So, you know, he's fucked. He just falls to his death.
Remember, shithead, keep your arms and legs in the vehicle. And all.
And that's basically the end of the movie. And I do like that they ended with a really good like message, which is, you know, the rock climber good, not rock climber bad. That's really what I got out of this movie, because, you know, everyone that's a rock climber lives. Everyone that's not a rock climber dies. Like literally, that is actually what happens. And that's Cliffhanger. It's a pretty cool movie, actually. I mean, it's not like good, but it's like good, you know.